individuals are always shaped by the situation they're in, by their environment. You know, by the national environment, but the local environment. So, for example, if you grow up in a ghetto anywhere in the world, you know, chances are you're going to be doing bad things because all the influences around you are negative.
Yes.
And if you grow up in a positive family environment, a religious environment, most likely you're going to be doing good things. Situations, institutions, like prisons, like mental hospitals, like in many cases old age homes, can shape the behavior of everyone in them, typically in negative directions.
Yes.
In the directions of dominance and control. Okay. Now, I wrote this up in great detail in my book, The Lucifer Effect, Lucifero Effecto, which has been published now in 35 languages, really around the world. It's remarkable. So in the book, I went in detail of every day by day, but then at the end of the book, the last chapter, I speculated. I said, if negative situations can make good people do bad things, what would happen if we put ordinary people, not good or bad, just ordinary people, in positive situations?
Yes.
It should follow that those situations should bring out the best in people.
Yes.
And so I said to in that last chapter, I said, so I would like to consider, we should, I or other people, we should do research to test that. Let's create positive situations that in the ideal will generate heroes.
Yes.
The prison study created villains, and we want to create heroes. And so after that, I gave a talk the next year at the TED Foundation, I don't remember what year was, 2007, I think 2007. I gave a talk at the TED conference in Monterey, and which at the end of the conference I said just this. I said, you know, I have just shown you all the ways in which good people have done evil, not only in my prison study, but among the guards in Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq, where I defended one of the guards. And I said, now I want to switch to say, I think it is possible for ordinary people to become heroes if we create the right situation, namely a situation that inspires them to be the best, a situation that encourages them to help other people, a situation that promotes being sociocentric and not egocentric. Exactly, so I just laid those ideas out, and immediately afterwards, they all said, this is a great idea, you should do it. Now, I had no intention of really doing it. I just put the idea out for somebody else to do it. And Piero Amidio said, I will give you a check now, $20,000, to hire lawyers to create a non-profit foundation.
Yes.
Because I didn't even know what that is. He said, you have to have a foundation. And you have to get people to work with you. You can't do it alone. And so that started us, you know. And so in 2010, we started what I call the Heroic Imagination Project. The acronym is HIP, H-I-P. And since then, we have been developing lessons, many different lessons in social psychology and cognitive psychology. And our lessons, we license the lessons for a very small fee. And then I go, and I also have trained people, and train groups of teachers, or now we're going in business, train people in human relations, how to deliver the lessons. And we have been successful. We are now in more than a dozen countries around the world. Yes. Not in Amsterdam yet, not in Holland. They got to, because people have to invite us. Yes. But I mean, we're in Hungary, we're in Poland, we're in Bali, we're in Sicily, many Czech Republic, many places, and the results are really very effective because again we do impact. We show it changes the behavior of the students, often of the teachers as well, because it's a whole new way of thinking about people and your relationship. Yes. And now, as I mentioned earlier, is we are redoing our whole program to be more strategic, to have our lesson have more and more online. So physically, I don't have to go and do the training. I mean, I'm now 86 years old. It gets harder and harder to go to, Hungary or Kuwait. So I think the best is yet to come.
Yes. And so what are ingredients of becoming a hero? What's important?
Oh, the most important thing is to have a desire to make the world better, have a motivation to help other people in any way you can. A desire also to make other people feel special. So it really is a bunch of, I call social-centric traits. That is, it's about what can I do for other people.
Yes.
Now, we all think of this way within our family. That's what it means to be a family.
Yeah.
Everybody in the family says, what can I do today to make you better? Can I feed you? Can I clean up the house? What can I do for you? Yeah. But we don't really extend that beyond. So heroes extend that imagery to everybody.
Yeah.
So in one way to think of it, heroes make everyone part of their family. And in doing so, if we all did it, we make the world better. Yeah. We give compliments to people. We make them feel good. We make them feel special. We learn their name. We use their name. But I'm saying certainly it means you're always ready to help anybody in real need. Yeah. Even though there's a potential cost. I mean, if in some situations where there's a fight, if you break up the fight, you could get hurt. But what we teach in our lesson is how to understand various situations. When do you intervene directly? When do you intervene indirectly? Meaning you call the police. Yeah. Or you call an ambulance. You call other people, help, he needs help. You call the hospital if somebody's bleeding. So that you never risk your life. So we want people to be long-living heroes. Now, so the alternative is military heroes typically become heroes by dying. You help somebody, you're helping somebody in need, and you get shot, and you're helping your buddy. No, we want people to live forever. So we're not focusing on military heroes, religious heroes, or political heroes. We're saying, no, it's ordinary people doing extraordinary things, ideally every day of their life, to make their world better, starting with your family, starting with your school or work and your community. Now, it also means, taking action, intervening. So we say, but what does it mean within your family? So one example we give, suppose you have a relative who everybody likes, he's funny, and he tells jokes. But the jokes are always racist. The object of the joke is a Jew, a black person, in quote, a nigger, Guinea for what, all this certain, and he tells them, and people feel awkward, but they laugh because they want him to feel good, because they know he's doing it to make them laugh. He may not even be a racist. Somebody might have told him this joke. And so what is your obligation as a hero in training is to tell Uncle Charlie that you enjoy, that he wants to make people happy. But take a minute and imagine, suppose I brought my friend who's Jewish and he heard you say that. How would he feel? And so typically it's the person telling the joke had never even thought about that. It's not I don't want to hurt Jewish people. It's just it's a joke. So but the point is you cannot allow it to continue. So this is a very difficult action you would take. Now, it could even be sometimes in your class. You have a teacher more likely to tell a sexist joke, and you have to stop it. Yeah. Now, you do it in a very nice way. You might write a note to the teacher saying, in class today, you said something which could offensive to the women in the class, like women are not good at technology. There's no evidence for that. I wish you would correct it or not say it anymore. Yeah. Now, if you could, it's enough. You don't even have to put your name because again, you don't want to suffer for it. But you have to take that action.
Yeah. And so, what if you look around today? What are the most negative influence on being social-centric? What's
living with a cell phone in your hand. So if it's this and this, I'm not even noticing you. Yeah. It's the saddest thing is young people, I think now around the world, are captives of the internet, of the cell phone. Many of them are having wrist problems and neck problems because they live like this. They got this like this. Yeah. And in many cases, I go to a coffee shop and everybody in the coffee shop is like this, or like in front of this computer. No one is talking. Yeah. In the olden days, the reason to go to a coffee shop is to meet people. Yeah. Hi, how are you? Yeah. What do you, and now it's a place where they have access to the internet. So that's the coffee shop you go to. So again, that is being totally egocentric. It's me, the people I'm talking to, or information I'm getting. And so I think for me, that's the biggest challenge to creating an environment that promotes everybody to say, what can I do for you, when all I'm doing is for me.
Yeah, because you have this distance and you don't look the other in the eye anymore.
Never. Oh, no.
Yeah. So, but what can you do? For example, you have a teenager who is already used to it and is watching all day on his telephone. So, what is the beginning?
Yeah, no, but that's a big. This is something that should be being talked about in school, in families. I mean, obviously, it's limiting viewing time. You can't take it away. You can't take the thing away because there is good information on it.
Yeah,
I mean, they use it.
It's a positive thing.
It's a positive thing. Yeah. But the point is, so you begin by saying no cell phones at meals. Yeah. Okay. Sometimes even everybody sits down. They put the phone here. So while you're eating, the phone rings, and I got to talk to my friend. You say cell phone. Mealtime is, we ban cell phone. That's one starting. And then other times, we could. I would say family times. More and more. There's no such thing as family time. Even then, there's not mealtime. People eat alone. More and more. You eat. Everybody eats separately, which is, I come from a Sicilian family where mealtime is the most important time of the day. And so you have to restart. But it's parents simply saying, that the problem with living on the cell phone is that you don't notice that other people might need your help. People around you. Yeah. So we all have many connections, but we don't have many real friends. Okay. Yeah, so cell phone connects me to you in Holland, or connects me to you in Peru, but it means I'm not noticing. My neighbor next door is shouting, "I need help! I need help!"
Yeah, and maybe even more, because, for example, I can say that I'm very well, but maybe I'm suffering.
Yeah.
I act like my life is very good, but I'm suffering, and maybe this can also be one of the consequences, that we are like afraid to
expose yourself. Yeah. So again, if people don't expect other people to help, then they're going to be more superficial and say, "How you doing? I'm fine." When you're not fine. Even those exchanges, if you think about it, with people, even people you know, how you doing? How's it going? The answer is always okay or fine. And I remember a long time ago, before I came to California, I was in New York, and my life was terrible. Everything about it was bad. And people say, how you doing? I'd say terrible. And they look at me and like, not here. I mean, like, and they say, oh, that's good. You know, and I say, no, I said terrible. And then they say, oh, really, why? I said, I'm sick. My marriage is a disaster. You know, and my son is ill. You know, I don't have enough money to pay the rent. Other than that, everything's great. Yeah. Yeah.
So actually, it's also important, maybe to when you become a hero, it's also important that the conversations get more deep.
Yeah. The point is, I mean, I want to get to know you so I can know how I can help you if I can, and I'd like to, because heroes could also use help. And it's not like Superman. You're an ordinary person, so I'd like you to know me. What are my weaknesses, and you know. So again, it's not even like helping people who are bleeding. It's you know, my career is not going anywhere. You know, I'm trying to do this new job. Trying to develop this new technology, and it's failing, you know. So I could use help, but I don't know how to ask for it. So again, you might say, well, ideally you would tell me, hey, Dr. Z, I have a friend who, if you want, I put you in touch. He's helped other people in the past. That's really helping, you know. Anyway, I think it's time for renewing the family spirit in all of us, and as I said, part of that is to discover the hero in you, who is going to take small actions. I mean, not extraordinary things, to make the world better. So, for example, I have a bad knee, and I walk with a cane. So, what does that mean? Whenever I get into elevator, what's the first thing I do? Put the cane against the door. That's thinking about what I can do, little things in a situation that makes life better for other people. So if they're rushing into the elevator, the door's about to close, they don't have to worry. I have it.
Yeah, so it's actually to train people today to concentrate on the other person.
Always, yeah.
And I think also to include everybody. This is like, for example, a person who is maybe a stranger, or maybe have mental problems, or maybe have some weakness. To try to include the person instead of excluding the person. Yeah,
so again, it's what we're seeing now more and more around the world is promotion of exclusivity, us versus them. And it's we see it most clearly with everybody labeled migrant. Migrants are people who don't belong here. They're from some other place, or they used to be from some other place. I do lots of work in Hungary, and the Hungarian Prime Minister, Viktor Orban, was the first one, maybe 4 years ago, to have programs against migrants.
Yes, exactly.
I get off at the airport, I get to Budapest airport, and I'm in a taxi driving into the city, and there are 100 billboards saying, the migrants are coming to take your job. The migrants are poison. So there's not a migrant in sight. They have a right-wing government in Italy that says you could be. It could be a crime to help migrants who are trying to come into Sicily by boat.
So to be a hero is a crime.
Yeah. So that's it. So he's saying to help them when they are illegal. That means what you're doing is illegal, and you could go to prison for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a case. Yes, being a hero could mean that you go to prison for it.
Yeah.
But it's a way of thinking. Again, we have it in America in our president Trump, who's extreme on exclusivity, and he's saying, you know, the only people who's supposed to be in America are people who look like him, meaning white skin and males. Right? You know, women are good, dark skinned people are good. And you say, wait a minute, wake up. every person in America is a migrant. That's what made America great compared to other countries. Exactly. You know, you are a migrant. Your family came from Germany. The people who created the Constitution of the United States, every single one of them, they came from England and other places. And he doesn't know that. He's never read a history book.
Say, what is the effect of a human who is an outsider on every reason, who have been they were teasing them, or it's an outsider because it's an immigrant, or it's somebody with mental problems, or it's somebody who doesn't belong in a company for work? What is the effect for an individual person?
Oh no, and nothing is worse than to be an outsider. I mean, we see it starting in school in young ages. Children who look different, maybe they have a handicap, maybe they're physically not attractive, maybe they don't have the right social skills, and other kids begin to make fun of them, so that they drive them away. Those children, we call them outside, become loners. They have to live by themselves, so they are never sociocentric. They are trying to survive, and in many cases, this leads them. What it means is they have to do things to get attention, because they are ignored. On the playground, you know, people walk by them as if they don't exist. So then they often have to do destructive things to get attention.
Negative attention.
Negative attention. And in some cases, these kids in America, because we have guns everywhere, they're the kids who become shooters. That by killing people, people notice you.
So, and is there, like the egocentric in this society is growing? To your idea, are we more?
Oh yeah, I'm saying egocentrism is growing. It's all about me and not about us. And I'm saying my Hero Project is doing exactly the opposite, to say it should never be me. It should always be us. It should never use the word I. It's always we. We think. And so this is what I'm trying to promote in our lessons, in my lectures, that really the importance that we are now in a very egocentric generation, era, and we have to, and again, I'm saying family values are breaking down. Throughout the world, divorce rates in many countries are more than 50% or even 60%. That means so many kids grow up without parents, typically without a father. And especially for boys, there's a lot of research that shows that boys need a male figure because they motivate them. They say, if you want something special, you have to work for it. Or if the kid comes back with a poor report card, the father says, you must try harder. You're embarrassing your family. Mothers give love unconditionally. Mothers say, try harder, I love you anyway. You know, fathers essentially say, I'm not going to love you if you don't perform. So boys around the world are doing badly. That's the first thing. There's a lot of evidence that boys are underperforming, failing in school, dropping out of school, not learning, you know, reading and writing, etc. And they're saying they don't have to learn to read and write if they have this.
Exactly.
All they have to know is how to start it, how to stop it, how to. And now, in fact, if you have a dictation program, you don't have to learn to write at all.
So there's a lot of work. So actually, what you're saying, if I can make like a conclusion, we should become a big family in the world, like in companies with more the idea of a family. Even when you are, for example, a big family or like Apple, I'm just saying, like a big company, that they get more the values of a family inside, but also the politics and also the schools.
I'm arguing people need the sense of belonging to a family. Now, the size of the family can vary. Now, you can't have a family of, you know, you can't say, well, I belong to the family of America. No, it's got to be a tangible set of people. And so in business, you know, it could be within various units. You know, within the communication department, those people feel like family. That is, when I go there, I know I'm going to meet Bill and Charlie and Sally and Mary and, you know, Antoine, and it makes me happy knowing them. And so, but again, what that means is, if I have any need, I can say, I have a problem, you know, could you give me some advice? In the same way they feel they could ask me for advice. And more we don't have that. Again, in many big companies, it's like old-fashioned, you know, assembly line. I mean, you go to these big companies, Facebook and Apple, there's rows of people at desks on computers, you know, that go, you know, like 100 deep, and nobody's talking. You know, so in the companies, you know, they are not promoting building friendships, building subunits that people feel like, hey, I want to go to work not just to make money, but work is a central part of my life, because when I go there, there will be people who like me and people I like, and I can share the good things in my life and also the bad things.
So what is your wish for the world? What is your deepest wish?
I don't. That's a big grandiose question.
I know.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I would like a world filled with my everyday heroes. Not my everyday, with everyday heroes. That people who every day wake up and say, what can I do to make things better? What can I do to make things better? In my family, in my school, in my job, in my neighborhood. How can I use whatever talent, skills I have to make someone else feel special? And the idea is, if everybody begins to think that way, then it goes from us here to them there. So it's and so that's my big vision, is how to project the values of my Heroic Imagination project, you know, broadly to the whole world. Because once you tell people that, they always say, yes, yes, of course. Why would you not want that? But again, it's promoting inclusiveness, to say, you know, to be excluded is always bad, is always wrong. Any force that excludes anybody is a negative force. And we want to change those to positive forces that encourage inclusion, encourage caring, encourage you know, being part of something. People don't live alone. You have to be part of something. And I'm saying it's part of a family, but as families are breaking down now in many countries, it's usually part of a work unit. But I'm saying many work units are just about work and not about socializing. So we have to really rethink what it means in every work situation, and just how to build sociocentrism into the core of our relationships with everybody.
Very nice. And so we want to start, let's say, tomorrow in Holland. What is the first step to do? Is to teach, or to be that people become aware? What can we do?
No, I think the media. What we have not done is connect with the media enough. Now, in our program in Hungary, in Budapest, it's called Hero Square. They have people who work directly with the media. So any of our lessons, they also will always have the media come to sit in on a training session. Or when so one of our lessons is how to become an active hero, never a passive bystander. So one of the lessons is we show video of a woman lying on the steps at Liverpool Station in London, and in 5 minutes we show 45 people pass by within 1 foot and no one helps. And in the movie then it says, why? And then the program stops and the teacher asks the kids, what would you do? Everybody says, I would help. Well, how come they didn't help? And then when somebody helps, then other people join in. But in Hungary, they have, during the training, they actually go on the street and have everybody in the group lie down, one at a time.
To experience this.
And then when people help, they stop and say, why did you help? They say, well, it was something. And then they give them a little reward, like a ticket to a concert. When they don't help, they said, why didn't you help? Did you see the person? They could have a heart attack. And they get them to say, make a promise, next time you'll help. But then they involve the media to take a video of the whole thing and put it on media.
So you create awareness on a
bigger scale. So I think, so for me, the program in Budapest is the best that we have in the whole world. They have many volunteers who do, I mean, I started 5 years ago and I trained 20 people now. They have 10,000 teachers all over the whole nation of Hungary, each of whom are training 50 students. So that's a huge number.
Yeah, that's nice. Like a butterfly effect.
Yeah, and now the other thing is they are in 30 different corporations. So now they get the corporations to pay the fee for local schools. So schools get our program for free. So that's ideal. That's an ideal program.
So we have a mission in Holland.
Mission in Holland. Yeah, or to get somebody from Holland to go to Budapest and actually talk to them, observe what they do.
To share the experience.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you very much. I think this is
Thank
the start.
you, Madeline.